Well, hello, hello, hello. Patricia here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, but more specifically here in Alaska. And today, for the blog hop, we are going to make this adorable little basket, kind of fall-ish. I would love to make these instead of saying hey, to maybe put a person's name on there, and it's a place setting at a table. How adorable would that be? So cute. Anyway, let's look at how to make it. The first thing we want is the Scalloped Blooms dies, and we're going to use the largest one and the second largest, and I just cut this out in the interest of saving a little bit of time. So it's the two largest. This one is just scalloped. This is scalloped with dots. Thing is, you can't really see the dots too. Let me see if it'll get close enough. Yeah, you can. There you go. You can see those. So what we're going to do, the first thing is we're going to take our two scallops. This paper, by the way, let me see if I can find where that would be up. I think that looks good. Is the August product of the month, $5 with a $75 order. It is gorgeous. Let me grab that and I'll show you. It is called, isn't this gorgeous? Oh, I was going to tell you what it's called. It is called Glow of Harvest, 12 by 12 paper. But this is gorgeous. Love this pattern. But what's cool about these, can you see that sheen on there? I don't know if you can see it or not. Oh, maybe there. I can see it in person really well. It's one-sided, but gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Let me open this back up, and I'll show these to you. Sorry, I had them pulled out earlier, and then I put them back up. Okay, so this is the one that we're making our pumpkin with. Gorgeous with the those things that we don't have in Alaska. Can't think what they're called. Isn't that beautiful? Love that sheen. Can you see that sheen there? Love it. And the pumpkins. I love these kind of white and gold pumpkins. So beautiful. Not acorns. Pine cones. Pine cones. You know, some of those words, sometimes they just escape you till you quit thinking about them. Okay, so cut this out. I know I did that fast. So what we're going to do is we are going to glue this on the front. So I'm going to grab my glue. I like liquid glue for this. It gives me a minute to place it. And I want to make sure that it is placed so that the scallops line up as best we can. Okay, so there's that. I do lay this on its side so that it doesn't go back down to the bottom. Then, once I have this on here, I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, and I want to cut off, if you notice, my bottom is flat so that it will stand up. It would stand up if you put it on the bottom too, but not as well. And we're going to cut off part of this one. So I want to glue it on there so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want that lined up so that I can cut this off without having to guess at it. So I'm going to put that right in the channel and cut those 4 off. Okay, and because I didn't put my glue all the way to the end, I could even use that for something. Okay, you don't have to, but you could. I also, while I'm at it, want to cut 4 off the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, here's the deal. If you are going to put, so I've got my 4. If you are going to put something on the back, then you want to do the same that we did here. Glue it on, whatever your designer series paper is, and then cut it off. Okay, so we've got those 2. Now, here's the trick in cutting, and I'll try to remember to tell you the colors that I've used here, but if I were to forget, don't worry about it, because I'll put it down in the comments, okay? Or over on the website, either one. Okay, so, or maybe both. All right, what I did is I cut the paper in half. I could have cut this end off, but I didn't want to accidentally cut it too far. And besides, the first time I made it, I had done it this way, and then I was like, oh, I want a basket. So what I'm doing is I've got a basket that is going to be 3.5 inches. So I'm putting it in here, and I fortunately have 3.5 inches. I went ahead and cut them both together. This then is probably garbage. But now I have 3.5 inches off of the bottom of my half sheet where I cut my scalloped circles. Okay, then I want to get my cutter out of the way, and I want 1.25 inches. Remember to line it up against there. I'm going to take my score blade and go over that at 1.25 inches. Okay, turn it to, that's the short side. Turn it to the long side. I want 1.25 inches there as well. There we go. I am going to score that. And back to the short side, 1.25 inches on all 3 sides. So it's easy to do. And I'm going to do it on both. So 1.25, score, long side, 1.25, score, and short side, 1.25. So you're going to leave one long side unscored. Okay, then put our paper trimmer aside. We're going to take our paper snips, and we've got 2 squares. I want to cut up to the score line. Okay, so just up to the score line. Up to the score line on both of these. And that practically makes the box right there. Then I'm going to fold on all my score lines. Okay, fold, fold. Then fold the little tabs in. Okay, if you fold those in, you can go ahead and glue them. Okay, and hold those for a second. And I've seen people use clothespins and whatever if you want to not have to sit here and hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, we're going to do the same again. I want inside, glue, hold it down, a little bit of glue. Okay, I'm definitely not left-handed. Has school started where you are? I am doing tutoring this year. So not technically teaching, but I'm teaching. And we had a meeting today, but we don't start until... So then I'm going to put glue and just slip these 2 inside each other. Okay, once they're inside each other, with my glue, I can push that bottom down and be sure that that glue sticks. And then I'm going to put glue on the sides. I should have put that glue on the ends before I put it all together, but I didn't because I was talking. So now I'm just going to hold that, give it a good press all the way around. Again, I could put my clothespins. So we don't actually start, we don't have class until My first class will be September 8th, which, and I just will teach, you know, that I'm technically retired. So I will just teach Tuesdays and Thursdays this year. So I'm kind of excited about that. Okay, so now I need to put these together. But truthfully, I don't want to put the front one on until I have all my little bits and pieces on it. But now my box is done, and all I have to do is connect it to my front and back, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put my tear and tape on here. I want to put it on the box itself, not on the scalloped. Okay, here it is. So, all I do is put, oh, you know, 2 or 3. You can tear it. You can cut it. So a lot of times I put it down and snip it, or whatever floats your boat. So like that. I do like snipping it a little bit. Then what I like to do is, once it's on there, is take my bone folder and, yeah, I had to make sure I was pushing in the right place, and give those a good burnish. I can't burnish here because I don't really have anything to push against. So if I lay the burnished edge down and just burnish like that, then I'm good to go. Then I can either take my paper snips or, whoops, not that one. I need the, hold on one sec. Where is my other take your pick tool? And what I like is the one that's got the sharp end and the pointy end. And then I just simply go along the edge, and that's why I want to burnish it, because I don't want this coming up. So I'm just going to poke it back down and tear those strips off. Like that. There we go. For some reason, those wanted to come up. They don't usually. Of course, they do it when I'm doing a video, right? All right. So what I want to do is I want to line this up, and I want to make sure it's where I want it to go, because I don't want to do this. You know, I want to make sure it's in the right place. I also want to make sure it's flat onto the surface. And then I'm going to take my bone folder again and give it a good burnish. Okay. And then it is attached. All right. So that's the back end. Now let's look at the front end. So what I love about this particular die set, hold on, let me show you the set. Here it is. This is the painted pumpkins. It's got one stamp, and then you've got all these other little parts and pieces. Hello, gorgeous. Isn't that cute? Thank you. Hey, and I hope your day is fabulous. Love all of those sentiments. I would probably get this without the pumpkins, but I love the pumpkins, and I love all the shapes of the pumpkins. So what I did then is I put that one stamp. Sorry, I haven't cleaned these since I stamped that. And I also put the hay on there. Somebody really pressed this hard in class the other day. It's okay. It's not a problem. It's just, you can really see that ink. Okay, so, and this is my Cajun Craze and pumpkin pie. Now, you'll notice something else that I did on here is I was sure to stamp all of these on one end, because I need my handle for my basket. So, I know everything's all, I want 3/4 of an inch by 8.5. So, this is my 8.5. There's my 3/4 of an inch now. Woohoo! Don't lose that, because I still want my hay. And then, one thing I can do right here is go ahead and put my handle on. So I'm going to do that while I have it. And I don't want to go beyond the scallops. So I'm going to put my glue here and, you know, a fair amount, and then flip it over. Okay, there we go. And now one end, and the whole back is done. All right, now back to the front. I have got 6 pumpkins that I can use however I want to use them. Then I can do something. I could put these on the back, the rest of them, whatever floats your boater. I definitely did want it to be a different color, the basket and the scallops, so that I could put them wherever I wanted. So I highly suggest that you lay them out before you put your dimensionals on there. And I think I want this or something close to this. And look how that's just a little, I'm going to clip that off because I want, there, that's all I wanted. Okay, so there, I think that works for me. Yeah. Which do I prefer? Maybe this one? Nah, I like this one. Okay, the middle one, let's see, what did I do on this one? Oh, this one I put these 2 up on dimensionals and my middle one flat. This time I'm going to put these 2 flat and my middle up on dimensionals. So let's go ahead and put our dimensionals on here. This particular, I need to throw that one away. It is giving me fits. Ta-da! And I already had started another one. I remember doing that now. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on my cute little pumpkin. Aren't they adorable? I just love them. Then, and again, you'll notice I do not put my dimensionals completely to the edge because I want to put these guys just a little under. But I do want my pumpkin to sit on the bottom of that. Then, don't want dimensionals on there. I am going to put my gourd or pumpkin. Ta-da, come out of there. On underneath and on the edge. There we go. Then I want to have my vines, and I cut these 2. Ah, it's a good thing I looked because the other one is right there. Where is my, oh, hello, take your pick tool. I need to poke this out. So I'm going to go to my little holes, poke it out. There we go. Hello. Those vines came from here. It's this one. Huh, I'm looking at the wrong side. It's this one. Let me show you the dies. Hello. It is this one and this one. Okay. By the way, that gate, gorgeous. I'm going to use that on something soon. And now I've got these, and I'm just going to put a dab of glue on each of those little vine leaves and put that in there somewhere. I like this curly cute one. So adorable. Almost got too much glue on there. There we go. And something like that. There we go. Now I need to do my hay. You can do your hay either by simply snipping it and then I'm going to get closer. You could trim it out closer, or you could do like I did here and give it a little flag. Whatever works for you. I like using my paper trimmer because now this I don't have anything to line up against. So I'm just going to have to do it visually by eye, if you want to call it that. That edge, if it's flat, that edge right there, it's not square with the sentiment. Ta-da, that was perfect. So I'm not going to use it. I do want to give myself a little bit of space to create my flag. And then I want this there. It worked pretty good. I guess practice makes perfect, right? So don't tell me you can't do it. You just keep trying it. It's paper and ink. Paper and ink. And you just keep working at it. And you don't have to use, I mean, you know, you can use the real stuff because you do want to have a finished product, but it's practice. Okay, so then I cut in however far I want, and I go from the corner to the tip. So corner to the tip, there's one edge of my flag, corner to the tip, and the other end, and voila, I have a little flag. I am going to put this up on dimensionals again. So there, and peel off my backing. So I hope when you are following all of our blogs on this blog hop, you know what? I do want that just, nah, I'm not even going to do it. Okay, excuse me. One, I hope you will follow all of us and give everybody a comment, or got that just a little too low, but I'm not going to worry about it. Oh well, because it was tearing up my vine. Could put another vine over here or something. Anyway, it is ready. Now, what I need to do is take my tear and tape again. If I can find it. Hello, you were saying, it's right there, Patricia. Tear that off. Or cut it. Whatever. Float your boater. Now if I can find the end. I like to leave a little bit. There it is. I can feel it. Problem is, when you tear it, it pokes that down. So if you tear one too long, by the way, you can always do an X. You don't have to worry about tearing off an end or something. Okay, and there we go. Again, do you remember what we do? We turn this over and we burnish those really good so that hopefully when we pull up our little ribbons on the backing, all of these that are all over the place, that they won't come up. Okay, pull that up. See? Oh, perfect. Pull that one up. There we go. I love it when a thought comes together, right? Okay, pull that one up. There we go. Put our pumpkin, our other side. I want to make sure it's lined up. Okay, and then pull it up. Make sure it's lined up with the one behind it, and it is. And then I'm going to give it a real good burnish there. And now you're going, but Patricia, you haven't done the handle. So what I did is I looked in here, and I want it to go right down to that edge of that basket. Can you see it? So it's somewhere around in here. I'm going to put some glue on here. And then I'm going to put it down right in, trying to make it so that you can see it, right down in on that, and it'll just stop right at it if you push it down to the basket. Then the only thing you need is a piece of ribbon or whatever floats your boat. This one I think is an old one. When I look it up, if it's current, I'll put the name below, but it really doesn't matter what you use. Just put some kind of ribbon on it. Now, aren't those just too cute? Okay, so I have to be honest. I think I like the two outer ones lifted up. on dimensionals more than the middle one. But at least now we know. And you can do whatever works for you. To put the ribbon on, let me grab the ribbon and I'll show you. Okay, it is called Center Stripe Ribbon. And I do not think this is current. All right, I am going to cut about 11 inches. So it's about right there. Okay, I'm not real particular. Then I'm going to take it and about the middle, and I'm going to make little rabbit ears. Okay, just fold those over. I find this is such an easy ribbon, and I can adjust it, of course, as I want. Just keep doing that till you've got what you want. There we go. I like it. Now this is a little too long, so I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm just going to take my glue dot, and I like to put 2 of them on there. Just put one, and I just put it on there and pull it off like that. And then put my ribbon on. This one is just a smidge too long as well. Ta-da! And there we go. Cute, cute little baskets. They will hold lots of good candies in them. You know what? I might even make these, I think I'm going to, for my kids at school. I only have 14 students. I have a pumpkin on my hand. That's so funny. Anyway, so I would only need 12 more. How cool is that? All right, there we go. I hope you liked that. Please follow all of us. Don't forget that I believe it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but I'll put the dates down below. You get double points for at whatever you buy. So if you buy $75, not only do you get this paper for $5, that means you've got then $80, but you'll get 8 and another 8 in Stampin' Rewards that you can use on your next order, 16, plus, you know, whatever you've bought, you've got your all your good stuff. And then, the part of the plus I was going to say is the designer series paper. There's a lot of papers and cardstock that are 15% off for the month of August. So be sure and grab those. Thank you so much for following all of us. Please go visit the next person down below. Have a good one. Be sure to give all of us a thumbs up. Make a comment in our blog or the video itself. And subscribe if you have not already done so. Thanks, love, and kisses. See you next time.